My name is Laura. I'm a nurse. After another busy day at work, as usual, I got home a little late today.
I'm home. Welcome back.
When I returned home, I was greeted daughter Meg. It must be very lonely for a third wait at home alone every day. Whenever I see Meg, I always see her. But still, I suppose I get envied by nurses as I work at the town's hospital that doesn't have any night shifts.
Where's your dad today? He hasn't come home yet. I wonder when he'll be back. I feel like I haven't seen Dad in a long time. Oh, I see.
My husband, Stan, is basically a workaholic and rarely comes home. I don't even remember him spending with us, like eating together or ever the house chores. Well, not exactly, to be precise. He spent time with his family, other things, and me. On his days off, he'd go to his mom to pull weeds in the garden for her, the house, and have dinner with her. Stan never showed up at Meg's soccer practices or spelling bee contests, despite being a devoted parent. And because of this, my husband and get along very well at all.
I'm sorry, honey. I'm so sorry for making you feel low for the time. I'm fine. You come home every day, Mom? So that enough? Oh, Meg.
I hugged Meg tightly. If we were a normal family, we would spend time together and be a happy family. No matter how many times I apologize, I know that it will never be enough. How and why did things turn out this? Then one day, Stan came back home at a time which was very rare. But both Meg and I's love and affection for Stan had decreased, and we didn't take it well. While we all ate dinner in silence, suddenly spoke up.
Hey, why don't we go to Hawaii for the upcoming holidays?
What?
I couldn't believe my ears for a moment. Stan had invited all of us to go on. What in the world was going on?
We haven't been able to properly travel as a family in the past few years, right? I thought it would be a great opportunity to celebrate my mother's 60th birthday, and I thought it might be a good idea while.
He puts my mother-in-law first again. I was fed up. But once Hawaii came up, Meg says,
We can go to Hawaii. I really want to go.
Meg was very excited and happy. Well, for her, it's her first time in Hale. So it's only natural that she would be reading everything. But I don't know if I could enjoy a trip after all these years. Plus, it was with Kate, my mother-own. If it was to celebrate Kate's 60th, I wish Stan would have told me yay about it. But if my daughter wanted to go, I thought it was not right for me to stop her.
All right, I guess so. It's been a while since we've all been together as a family, so why don't...
And I nodded my head. On the day of the trip, Stan and I work, so we decided to all meet at airport. On the day, my work was very busy, and it went beyond my expectations, and I was really late. After taking the bus, we finally arrived at the airport, but an unexpected incident happened.
They're not here.
Both Stan and Kate was nowhere to be. I searched around the airport, but find them anywhere.
Where did they go?
No one called me on my phone, so I'm calling both Stan and Kate. The number you have dialed is either not powered on right now or has no signal. I kept on hearing this message. Being desperate, I went to the airport's airline's reception desk. Then I was asked, "Are you Mrs. Laura Martin?" by one of the ground staff.
Pardon? Yes.
I wondered how the staff knew my name, but then they handed me a piece of paper.
I was asked to give this to you.
A paper?
I was stunned to see what was written on the paper.
I couldn't wait any longer. It'll just be the two of us going your trip, by Stan.
If you can't be on time, then we worry about you. Why don't you just camp out somewhere here by Kate?
What is this? Mom, what's wrong?
As I was shaking with anger, Meg to me anxiously.
Oh no, it's nothing. It looks like your dad and grandma ahead. I'm sorry.
So, we can't go to Hawaii?
Yes, we can. We can go after them and catch an earlier flight.
I tried to answer cheerfully, but to be honest, we don't have enough money for another flight.
What am I going to do?
While I was thinking of what to do, an old man walking in front of me suddenly collapsed.
Gasp!
I didn't know what was happening. I moved on its own, perhaps because been a nurse for many years.
Are you okay?
I checked his breathing, but it had.
Oh my God!
I quickly turned the old man's body and secured his airway. When I looked into his mouth, I found something was stuck inside. It most likely is a part of his vomit. This is what's preventing him from.
Please, someone calls an ambulance.
I shouted and immediately began to treat. Once the ambulance arrived quickly, she was taken to the emergency room where she regained consciousness.
Was it you? The one who saved me?
Well, yes. I only did a simple procedure, though.
That's not true. Thank you so much. I thought I was completely dead.
He had recovered enough to be able conversation. There was no heart or organization from the beginning.
You saved my life. Thank you. My name is James.
Oh, no, there's no need for that. I just did what everyone would do.
By the way, were you traveling somewhere?
Oh, yes. I was supposed to go to Hawaii with daughter, but we couldn't catch them.
Oh no, that's terrible. It's my fault.
I quickly gestured my hand to deny it.
Oh, no. We were already running late, but I made it on time because of my work. So do not worry, you didn't do anything wrong. I was just thinking that we should.
I said as I sighed and laughed. But James just looks at me and says,
That's a shame. Your daughter must have been looking to it. Why don't you just buy another ticket?
Well, I'm a little ashamed to say that.
When I said this with a sad look on James, gave a small nod.
Okay then, as my way of thanking you, I'll buy. You both the tickets and the problem will be solved, right?
Oh, huh? No, I'm sorry about this.
It's completely okay. Hey, you!
James called out to a female staff just walking by. Then he started calling somewhere cell phone he borrowed. James talked to someone for a few minutes, then hung up.
Oh, we're really okay, so.
Don't worry about it. If I don't get to thank you in some, I won't be able to die peacefully.
At that moment, the paper fell out pocket. We were lucky enough to get on the all thanks to James. Tom's surprise, he bought us expensive business class tickets. Thanks to his kindness, Meg and I see the flight very comfortably. And finally, we arrived in Hawaii. But there was just one problem. Which hotel would Stan and Kate stay at? I wish I had asked them beforehand, but I didn't.
Hello, are you Laura and Meg?
A man called out to us.
But what?
Nice to meet you.
When I was suspicious about how my name and my daughter's name were on the list, he showed me his business card. On it was the name of a well-known company that even I knew.
I have heard about you from the chair of our company. Thank you very much for that.
What?
The elderly man you helped at the airport was actually the chairman of our company.
Was so surprised at what he had seen. I had no idea that James, whom we met at the airport, was a chairman of a company.
We will now take you both back to you on the chairman's order. Please enjoy your trip to Hawaii.
And then he led us to a black limo. I had never been on such a car before in my life.
Wow, it's amazing.
Meg says that, and she is totally excited to ride in a luxurious limousine for the first time. I checked many times to make sure my were clean before I got on. The view of Hawaii from the windows, beautiful. It felt like an everlasting summer. At one point, I thought we wouldn't make it, but I'm so glad we all came in the end. Meg was stuck to the window and stark. Then we arrived at a huge hotel. You could tell it was luxurious by looked, but as we arrived, I realized something important.
Oh no, I didn't book a room.
I mumbled quietly.
Oh, please don't worry. We have already reserved a room on floor.
Hearing what I had mumbled, the man this.
But I don't have enough money for this.
We have already paid the bill.
Oh, really?
I wonder how far James has been instructed to take care of us. This VIP treatment left me very unused to this. After entering the hotel, I was amazed by the room. It was probably a suite room. The room was too spacious for just 2 people. The view of the ocean and the butte. Sunset was breathtaking from the hug of the room. It was truly a spectacular view, and we had a dedicated hotel staff who served us if we wanted anything. The food was also gorgeous. I can't explain it very well, as it was too. They grilled the most expensive steak in front of us. The food was better than anything I've ever tasted, and I was just always impressed. When Meg and I were strolling around the lobby after dinner, we heard some arguing voices coming from the corner.
Are they?
A man and a woman were arguing with staff. Yes, it was my husband and my mother.
Hey, what are you both doing here?
When I called out to them, they look and I.
What? Why are you both here?
What do you mean we just came here on purpose? You've done such a horrible thing to us, even though you're the one who suggested going.
Well, that's a good question.
Stan looked at Kate as if he wanted something.
Oh, it was your fault for being right?
I feel bad about that, but you didn't have to say that we just camp out.
Kate didn't look like she was doing wrong if she's sorry for doing such a horrible thing. I just couldn't forgive them.
By the way, why are you guys arguing hotel staff?
I asked Stan.
When I tried to check in, he told me to leave. I don't understand.
Stan looked very angry as he said this.
Is something wrong?
Then the hotel staff began to explain.
I heard that these people left our very important and beloved customers behind, and that's unforgivable. I was ordered not to let them stay our hotel.
Oh, now I see what you mean. James really did have a good time at this hotel. The chairman of the big company is a scary guy, and you wouldn't ever want to be on his bad side.
What the hell does he mean?
Oh, it's a long story. But what he means is that he can't bear to see you both leave Meg and me behind.
When I said that, Stan and Kate looked confused.
How in the hell did someone from there know about that?
Well, I understand Stan's point and ask that, but knowing the details, I'm not sure all. In fact, I even think it's what Star deserves.
Do you know this person?
I took out a business card. It belonged to the man who guided me from the airport in Hale.
This is a test. This is a business card from one of ours.
My husband turned pale as he took the card with his trembling hands. Kate's face also froze and turned pale.
Yeah, you don't mean to tell me that you're the chairman of this company, do you?
Of course, I know who he is. He suddenly collapsed at the airport, saved him. So, he booked us a flight to Hawaii and reserved a hotel room for us.
Kate fell down and began to tremble.
W? What's the matter, Mom?
He's in the same gym club as me, but he only worships him occasionally.
What kind of coincidence is this?
I also agreed to Stan about this. With that kind of coincidence, I think the world is tiny. I had no idea that my mother-in-law was the chairman. But before I heard this from Kate, found out about the fact from the H himself, when I received the new ticket at the airport, James noticed a piece of paper that had fallen out of my pocket. He picked it up and saw what was written on the paper. He looked at me with surprise.
Laura, what in the world is this?
Oh, haha, that's funny. Well, how should I say this?
How horrible and how unforgivable. But this name is your mother-in-law's last name, Ma? Yes, her name must be Kate Martin.
What do you know about my mother-in-law?
Of course, I do. She's also a member of the gym club belonged to. She doesn't seem like the type of person who would do something like that, but
And this is how it happened. I looked at the two of them with a thought back on it.
It's tough, isn't it? Since you said that you two are going together, I guess we'll just be on then. I'm going to enjoy the trip with Meg. Kate, why don't you just camp out, see around here? Enjoy the Hawaiian night without a top.
Oh, hey, wait. That's terrible.
You are the rudest person ever.
Stan and Kate kept on screaming while I turned my back on them. They're just so ridiculous. They were the ones who threw those mean first. But when I was the one who responded with my words, they'd call terrible and rude. I burst out laughing.
Let's go.
I urged Meg,
Yeah.
and Meg took my hand in hers. The exchange between the hotel staff and I was still going on behind me.
Anyway, get out of here. We don't want you two in this hotel.
The hotel staff wouldn't budge. Finally, both Stan and Kate left. So we enjoyed our trip to Hawaii, or since Meg's love for Stan was almost there was no need to care about him. I never expected to receive such a trip as a gift in return for helping out a friend. We actually wanted to thank him from the bottom of our hearts. The trip was over and we returned home safely. It was a really amazing, refreshing. Meg seemed to be very satisfied with as well. Now, whatever happened to Stan and Kate, who were kicked out of that hotel, it seems that the real disaster for after they left the hotel. After returning from Hawaii, Stan was tired and worn out. It seems that the chairman's instructions have been spread throughout all the hotels in Hawaii. They really had to camp out in the whatever it is, write it on the payment slip, and other difficulties awaited Stan. Stan was suddenly summoned by his boss's office and was told that the contract with James' company was about to be canceled, and Kate was treated coldly by the club members, and she left the club. She was practically expelled from the school. Her only hobby was keeping in shape, but an incident must have scared her so much that she gave up working out and being in shape anymore. Now she spends most of her time sitting on the couch watching TV. Stan and I decided that it would be to continue our marriage, and we divorced. And, of course, the custody for Meg me. I didn't receive any alimony or child support. My earnings were not much different from Stan's income, and I had no problem supporting Meg. I will never see my mother-in-law as anything but a friend. Still, this incident was really strange that I think about it. By accidentally being late at the airport, I ended up helping the chairman of a company who Kate knew, and through him, I was able to enjoy one of the most memorable experiences of my life. In this way, it's more natural to think that I was guided by some fate. Nothing in my relationship with Star out except for Meg. Maybe there was a miscommunication due to our different schedules, but I think this would have happened regardless of whether I continued to be the HEA, as Stan would prioritize Kate over us. I have no more regrets. I have the most adorable and precious daughter in the world. I don't need anyone else